I think education must become a little more broad-based. There are three elements. One is that it must bring domain expertise and make a specialist in a trade, in a particular stream, be it journalism or engineering or masonry or tailoring, fashion design, hotel management, whatever it be, to make a physician, whatever the stream be, it needs to make a domain expertise in that. It needs to make people to think on their own and innovate and invent new methodologies to contribute to that particular stream. It must, education must make people designers and innovators. For example, we have come a long way in creating cars, making aerodynamic cars, making fuel efficient cars. My intrigue is that if we had a little more time, or we had a little more intensity in research, or if we were a little more intelligent, we could have come to where we are today almost 4 decades back with reference to cars. So there has been a little flaw in considering the most appropriate design, which is not only socially correct, but also environmentally correct, and not only with reference to durability, but also of the least consumption of resources. So education on one hand, it must create great designers, great innovators, great researchers and very good inventors. For this, the candidate must have adequate domain expertise and make him a specialist. So this is where the education needs to focus, not to create just followers, not to create just people who can just redo things or just learn a formula and do things just based on one formula to all their lives with no thinking involved. This is on one hand. On the other hand, education must be inclusive. Education must allow me to be able to become part of the society I live in. It should not make me isolate myself from other professions, other trades, other streams. So there could be people who does not understand my language of a specific trade, or my communication expression of a specific trade, or the shapes, the forms, the colors, the way I express myself, or the way I the output, the product. There are people who may not relate or may not understand or communicate to the product that I have created. But then those people has their own other potentials. For example, I could be a very good accountant. I know all the systems. Suppose I know all the systems of accounting. Somebody else may not be very good at finance, but he may be very good at singing. Now, I cannot rebuke that person because he does not know finance or is bad at finance. Neither can he rebuke me because I do not know how to sing. So, socially, everybody has a place to fit in. Everybody is of some utility and some use in the big circle of events. I happened to meet somebody who was considered autistic or a person with dyslexia, and surprisingly in my research I found that he has a fetish to keep everything very clean and tidy. He has been a loser, a failure in many other areas of life, but then with reference to hygiene, health, cleanliness, and to keep everything clean and tidy, this person has an acumen. Now when I discovered that, I gave him a job which is in tune with that talent that he has, and amazingly over a period of time I found that department running very well. So everybody has a place in the society, and to recognize each other's place and to give everybody a room to express themselves and to blossom should become the second focus of education. Education that is devoid of such an inclusive approach, where everybody has a place to express themselves, or rather one that isolates one person from the other, perhaps is not a complete sort of education. And the third tenet of education, I would think, is to inculcate in a person the ability to recognize who needs rehabilitation and who needs restoration, because we need to be of use to society. We need to do free service to people who cannot afford, or people who cannot perhaps people who are underprivileged. But then our parameter of being privileged and underprivileged need a relook, because it could be somebody who has got a lot of comfort but is mentally in agony. Now, does that person deserve rehabilitation at all, or is our focus all on giving material comfort as part of rehabilitation? What do we need to restore in the minds, restore in the family ties, restore in breakups in social relations or in communal relations? So we need to understand that when we do free service, it need not be only in a very narrow parameters of people who does not have clothes or house. Of course, those are the basic necessities, but our idea of people that who needs rehabilitation must be a little more wider. We need a larger funnel to have parameters or a checklist to see who needs rehabilitation, and we need to attend to such people who does not regularly come under the scanner of the kind of people who needs rehabilitation. So these are the three things of education. Number one is to create domain experts, to create specialists, to inculcate in them the ability to invent, innovate through research, and to become great designers, to create designs which are very durable with reference to environmental stability. And number two is that they need to be responsible to be able to include all the streams as part of their own community and society, because everybody has a specific use, specific utility to contribute to the general health of the society. And the third one is to be able to understand if anybody needs rehabilitation from a very wider perspective and angle.